Christmas trees, and then there are tremendous trees. We're talking about fabulous trees that are the heart and soul of every tree trimmer. Someone who takes great pride in his Christmas tree every year is lifestyle expert Mar Jennings, back with some tips for a glorious tree this time.
That's right. Well, you know,
the season, and you know what, you better step on it if you haven't done it by now.
Well, interesting enough, up until 1950s, it was pretty common to put up your Christmas tree on Christmas Eve.
Isn't that something?
Statistics show that the last 2 weekends before Christmas happen to be the busiest time of year to actually purchase your tree. So people are still waiting to do their tree, believe it or not.
We love to procrastinate, but it's still a family event for so many folks. But it's more than just tree trimming 101 you're talking about.
It is, and today you have so many different choices, and here's a little test for you. There's a faux branch here and there's the real branches here. It's very hard to really find the difference these days because these artificial trees are so more superior than they've ever been. And here's a perfect example. Here's the artificial one, and it just looks like real needles.
I never would have been able to tell it apart except for the branch.
The branch, right?
Yeah, but you don't see that when the tree's up.
You don't see it. And once you decorate it, it's completely so beautiful and you really can't tell the difference.
And we've got some pictures to show too.
We do.
Why don't we start with it? You opted to go with silver.
Yes, this year's theme is all silver. And here's a perfect example of my tree completely done. And one thing that you need to know is when you're starting to decorate with your Christmas tree, you want to make sure that it's a family event. You're bringing everyone involved and everyone can participate and take their turn in adding all the different ornaments. And certainly you can assign responsibilities. Some people like to do the lights, some people like to do the tree skirt, but as long as everyone's involved, and make sure there's plenty of holiday music playing, because that truly puts you into the mood.
And eggnog.
And eggnog, that's right.
Eggnog.
You can spike that a little bit, right?
Well, if you want. I actually prefer it straight up, but anyway, so, and
on
by
the
the way,
rocks.
we're saying, so, straight up on the rocks. Yeah, a little rum, nah, actually without the rum, but okay, moving along, and those looked a little bit gold in that picture, but I think that's because of the lighting.
Yeah.
So it's silver, but looking a little bit gold.
Most definitely. And here's the tree topper, and I like to have an angel, and this was originally all gold, and I did spray it to be silver, but one thing that you need to keep in mind is that many times people put the tree topper on last. Now what happens is that when you're trying to put that up on top, you're probably going to need a ladder, you're going to lean against the tree, and you're going to knock down some ornaments.
Yeah, leave that to the cats.
So I believe you should put your tree topper on first, and I also believe that every year or so you should change it out as well. Do something different, something festive, something that represents the time of year, but always start with your tree topper first.
We used like a star when I was a little kid, if I remember right. We also had a spire, so the star was just below the spire, but you can use different things.
Yeah, but do you remember putting it up last?
That part, my parents, they
put you to bed.
Too small for that, right? Now, also talk about the color of the lights, because sometimes people do all white.
I did all white, and you know, you could go with color, and lights now are larger than ever, so you can do very large lights in different colors, or you can do all one color theme. I decided to go with all one color. And this photograph is really representing the fact that everything's very cohesive. It's all a silver theme, but also most importantly, and this is the next slide, is that you're taking pride in an ornaments that you're putting up. And just because you have 5,000 ornaments doesn't mean that you have to put every last ornament up.
Yeah, you want to look in like a yard sale.
That's right.
And you have one, and sometimes they're special, like you have one as a memento to your dog, Corky,
My
right?
dog, Corky, who passed away. That's her paw print.
I'm sorry.
And what's so wonderful about putting up an ornament that you really cherish, whether it's made by a child or something that represents someone in your life, is that you want to give it primary real estate value. Put it somewhere first, and then build a tree around that.
Now, I hate to rush you, but I know that before we finish up, you had a Twitter question.
Yes, we had a Twitter question. Someone asked me, her name's Ann, and she asked the question, what can you do to decorate between Christmas and New Year's to give it more of a New Year's feel? And great question, and what I like to do is just simply change out anything with the color red or green. Go with silver and gold, and immediately it will change the entire look, and also throw some confetti on your tables, and voila, you're ready for a party.
Awesome. Mar, always great stuff, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Exactly. The paw print might keep the cats from attacking, or just buy a Rottweiler, right? All right. Well,